Hello, friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food and beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and I'm with my co-hosts for this episode, John Craven, Jackie Brugliera, and Mike Schneider. We are recording live. Well, not really live, but on location
together
in Anaheim, California. Yes, we're together in person with Jackie.
I ran into so many people and they're like, wait, you're not on the East Coast? That is like some crazy magic. They never knew.
That is the magic of Joe Cratchy and crew.
Yes,
our audio engineer.
Joe.
Joe is also in the house. Well, outside, because we're outside by the pool.
He's on the couch.
We are. We're in Anaheim, California for Expo West 2024. We're at the BevNET house, which is located about a half mile from the convention center. There is a pool back here. That's fun. I don't know if anyone's taken a swim yet. Yeah, there's some leaves in the pool. No one cleaned.
Doesn't look very clean.
It doesn't look like the John, how come you didn't clean the pool before we came?
Sorry, Ray.
You know, it's just it's the little things. It's the little things.
Just busy making your steak and eggs.
I did not have steak and eggs this morning.
Lies.
I didn't have any food this morning. I just had
What?
coffee.
We had aji this morning.
What's aji?
Aji is it's lanza.
What's lanza?
Just delicious. It's just it's hard to describe how delicious it is. It's basically, if you've had shakshuka, you've had a similar taste to aji.
It's kind of like a tomato spread.
Yeah, tomato spread. It's amazing.
Yeah, really
There's
good.
a spicy version. There's a mild version. We put it on eggs. You can put it on anything, really.
Did you buy it or was it from the show?
We got it from the show.
Nice,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
We don't buy food.
It must have been really good because Mike is kind of slouching. He's kind of like leaning
It was
back.
so good. I'm just like chill now.
Feeling good on Friday of Expo West. We are recording on technically the third day of Expo West. Wednesday is when the show started, and day 3 promises to be another action-packed adventure. I can't recall seeing more people at Expo West than this year, and I can't recall seeing more exciting products and brands. Like, I have had a ton of fun meeting, eating, and drinking all the amazing people. Well, I'm not eating and drinking.
Don't eat people, right?
But I've had you know
Watch
what I'm
out.
saying. I've had a ton of fun at
Stay
this
away
show.
from Ray.
Yeah, stay away from me. Watch out for my teeth.
But no, Ray, to your point, the vibe has been extraordinary this year. I mean, I think people are back in full force. Everyone wants to, be close and network and talk, and there's just been
There's
many.
a lot of close talkers. Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
There's been, and again, don't get too close to Ray. But there's been so many amazing new products, from the backpack brands and to the ones that are exhibiting. Just so many people just so inspired this year.
You just gave me a good idea, by the way.
What's that, Ray?
And I'm just saying this in jest, but what if we had like a little jingle that we could play if people are just a little too close? We play that old police song.
It's like an
Don't
alarm.
stand so close to me. Don't stand,
Don't stand so.
close to me.
Yeah, I think that's
You
a good
like
idea.
Yeah, that was
Did I
good.
sound exactly like Sting?
Yeah,
I
wow,
sound
that was a great
exactly like
job.
Sting.
Sound like
Yeah.
a fake Jamaican accent.
That's kind of what Sting sounds like, though. I'm sorry. Sting is amazing. Sting, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but anyway. Now, John, I mean, this is like your 20th Expo West at this point, and 85,000 people. Did you ever see the show turn into something like this? I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, I haven't been to 20 yet, but
No?
somewhere up there.
Okay.
I don't know. No, I mean, it's just progressively gotten bigger over the past decade, and I think, now it feels totally crazy like it did before COVID.
What I liked is that it felt like the early stage emerging brands, the ones who literally launched at the show, had a good platform. It felt like they saw a lot of people they wanted to see: media, retailers, influencers, service and supplier folks. I talked to a lot of early stage folks, whether it was in the tent, the Fresh Ideas tent, or at the Startup CPG section, which was on level 300 of the convention center, or some of the events that we attended. And it just seemed like they were all really happy that they came. And sometimes I'm actually kind of wary of early stage brands and founders attending because it feels like they can get swallowed up. But if you can actually make 2 or 3 good contacts, if you can talk to a few people and just actually be present, it feels like there is some reward there.
Yeah, and I feel like there was a lot of like early stage brands that were doing things creatively, like they were doing collabs and popping up at other booths.
Right.
Like Glow Nuts was at Taika for morning breakfast and coffee, and
Leisure
then
was at Brutal.
Yeah, Leisure was at Brutal. So they were partnering a lot and figuring out ways that they can drive traffic to wherever they were at the show, even if they weren't like exhibiting the full time.
They did a pretty good job of, having like happy hours or times that you knew that you could go and just find them at this booth too. And I think for some of these brands that are just trying to get started, getting just a taste of what it's like to exhibit is a good thing. And we saw that with Snack Shot, the Snack Shot event that always happens right before Expo West. And then also the Startup CPG Alley Rally has some really great exhibiting opportunities for early stage brands too, where they can get some of the feedback that they need and figure out what's next for them. Because, it's funny, you talk about brands like, I know we're going to talk about Cocada, Ray. You want to talk about Cocada's new product.
Yeah.
And we were talking to one of the founders, Brianna, and she sounds so much different than she did when we met her initially at Nosh.
When Cocada won.
When Cocada won Nosh's Pitch Slam. So, at that time they were just so happy to be a brand, and now they talk about their margins and they talk about the products and they're talking about, all the things that are going well and the things that aren't, because it's a roller coaster ride. Every day is either an insane high or a lot of days are insane lows when you have a startup.
And I think, there were more people this year who were out there on LinkedIn and stuff saying they weren't going and it's so expensive. And, I think this is just, I don't know, it's a missed opportunity. Maybe you don't need to go big with some giant exhibit, but, I think not going to this is kind of crazy, to be honest.
You know who did a really good job and who has done a really good job of being present and networking at the show is Kartik
Yeah, he was everywhere.
from Dusra, which is, Dusra is a maker of Indian-inspired snacks. It's almost like a trail mix of Indian type nuts or Indian flavored nuts. I don't know if that's something
roasted
I can say.
peanuts.
Yeah, there you go.
I think kind of like puffed rice and then caramelized white chocolate. That's the curveball.
It's
That's
almost
the
like
Dusra.
Chex Mix or Trail Mix.
Yeah.
Right. But with an Indian spin.
Exactly.
Yes.
With an Indian spin,
Yeah.
which Deucer is a spin ball in cricket. So
That's why he named the brand that way.
Yeah, we were talking to him last night about just like the name and how he didn't want to call it a trail mix because it kind of cheapens it.
Right.
But it is similar to that experience because you are getting like sweet and savory, and it's really, really tasty.
I'm glad you didn't call it leg before wicket.
Jeez.
But he was everywhere.
That's
Yeah.
someone taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented to
I
you.
also think one of the things that he does really well is he's found his people, and he's also been standing their brands as well. So he's saying just as much as he wants you to try his brand, he wants you to try all the other brands. I think he really gets the industry, even though he's like, this is my first Expo West, and he's making the most of it in a way that, I don't know, it's like telling me yesterday, if you weren't doing Dusra, what are you going to do? Work for BevNET? Because he knows all the cool stuff.
Yeah, he's like a champion for all other brands, even though he's just getting started.
Yeah, we saw him at the Snack Shot event. We saw him at the Startup CPG section. We saw him last night at the Alley Rally. Also at the Alley Rally, I was really impressed by a brand called Zinca Foods. That's XINCK. Excuse me, CA.
XINCA, yeah.
Yeah, and they're a maker of authentic Salvadorian food. We tried their pupusas yesterday, which are essentially a corn-based. I don't know, how would you describe them?
It's like patties. It's like corn patties that are stuffed with like cheese and beans.
Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering just thinking about those. Fantastic, woman-led brand based in Virginia, and it's just definitely one of the standouts that I saw at the Alley Rally yesterday.
Did you get to try Rooted Fare?
I did not.
Rooted Fare is a sesame buttered, almost looks like caviar. So you spread it on. It's super decadent, really tasty. We got to try that yesterday. I've been wanting to try that for a while because people rave about it, and finally got to. It's like, don't meet your heroes, and there they were.
Mike, you also mentioned Cocada, and they came out with a new product called Cocada Dunks. I'm gonna get in trouble here, but it's a better for you Dunkaroos, really.
Yeah.
It's essentially you have your spread on one side of your little snacking.
Snack pack.
Snack
Yeah.
pack. On one side of your snack pack, you have salty, crunchy pretzels on the other side, and they are retailing for $1.99, which is crazy. For a better for you snack, better for you Dunkaroos. Jared and Brianna from Cocada were telling me that they are going wide. I'm blanking exactly. I believe they're going national in Sprouts later this month, and they have a whole bunch of other opportunities as well. I highly recommended that they talk to the folks from Foxtrot, because when I spoke with Michael Avitola, who was the co-founder and CEO of Foxtrot a couple of years ago, I asked him, why do you have Dunkaroos in there? He's like, well, until we have like a better for you Dunkaroos that actually tastes as good as or better than, we're going to keep selling that.
Sounds
stuff."
like
I'm
an opportunity.
You guys got to go
Yeah.
talk to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, really good. Yeah, I was talking to her and she was like, yeah, it was so fun just doing all the taste testing and seeing what pairs well with the cocada. And that's the fun part.
I love
you
when
know?
you two talk to each other because I feel like you're cut from the same cloth.
I mean, they're college athletes. I'm a college athlete.
Yeah.
You know, there's some bond there.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jared played college soccer, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Brianna
I believe
Was
volleyball.
volleyball. I think you're right.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jared's also super into coffee now, so we always talk about grinders. They're just great people, just super nice people.
You
to
nerd
talk
out
to.
on grinders?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
weird.
interesting. Yeah.
Very weird.
Joe's even laughing. That's Joe in the background.
So the Fresh Ideas tent on day one on Wednesday is the usual. You know, you get there and it's just gigantic line of people because
Oh
it's
my
the
goodness.
first thing you see at the
It's the
show.
longest line I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. I got there early so I could get in there early.
John and I, we just go into the area ahead of the line.
We
and
just got
network,
sucked into
and
the
the
line.
Next thing you know, we're
You
in
found
the line.
us.
We found you guys, and then the next thing you know, we're in the line. But we also have some great networking in that line because everybody's in the same boat as you.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting to get in, and they just want to find someone to talk to. You always find great people.
And it's the
there.
first thing you're doing at the show too, so everyone's excited and
Yeah.
amped, and you're like looking for faces that you know in line.
But
I
think
know
the,
what Ray was amped
the
for.
first thing I tried. We did a short social video with Alex Jaffe, who is the founder of Alex ALEC''S ice cream, which is a maker of regenerative, verified, and USDA organic certified ice cream. It uses A2 dairy. And they make these indulgent, delicious ice creams. They have 9 new flavors, and one of them that I tried just knocked me over. It was so darn good. It is a flavor of, well, it's a product that uses banana, chocolate, and date. And my goodness, I've never tasted an ice cream like that. It was so indulgent, so delicious. The bananas that you tasted like, I don't know, you mash the bananas and you just put them in the ice cream yourself. That's how fresh it tasted and how real it tasted. Just
stuff is
amazing
good.
job. Yeah.
We did the flight. They had a flight of ice cream. I was just like, just all of it. John's like, it's a little early, Mike.
Right? Just starting
Yeah, that
the
was
day.
aggressive. That was aggressive.
Hey, well, that's what we're there for.
Also loved a brand called Humble. They're a maker of potato chips. They're based out of Canada. It's organic potato chips. These actually tasted like potato, which I know is kind of weird to say. Like, it almost feels like you sliced up potatoes yourself. You put them in some oil and you put them in a bag, and that's exactly what you're getting from Humble. They recently launched a new ketchup flavor. Ketchup is something I feel like you'd see like at a convenience store, like a ketchup flavor, but I feel like, you know, you got to stand out a little bit when it comes to better for you foods, and you got to have flavors that people will enjoy. And like Ray's, Ray's potato chips,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
they have a ketchup flavor, but I've never seen that on,
Not popular in our part of the country.
I don't know. I thought it was great.
No, that's why you don't see it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk about flavor?
Sure.
Ya Oaxaca. I know you haven't been to the basement yet, but
No.
in Hall E, you have to go to Ya Oaxaca and try their mole. They have 3 different kinds of mole. They're going to blow your mind. It's like you were invited into their home for lunch or dinner. It's that. And right next to that booth is the Harkin booth, which I know is one of your favorites.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
They have a new flavor too.
Harkin is a maker of better for you candy bars. They launched with 2 varieties, the gooey one and the crunchy one.
Now they have the crispy one.
The crispy one is one I had on the plane. They sent me some before the
Oh,
show.
awesome.
Yeah, I didn't share with anyone.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep talking to people and they're like, oh, I sent Ray samples.
I know.
And no one ever
Yeah.
sees them.
Did you get it? Did you try it?
Wait, who said that?
There are a
Everyone?
couple people,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, anyway, so Harkin launched the crunchy one.
Mm-hmm.
And just like I talked about in a previous episode, there is no sacrifice whatsoever on flavor or texture. If you said that this was a full sugar, full calorie bar from like Mars, like the Mars, the manufacturer.
Not the planet.
Yeah, not the planet. You would.
Thanks for clarifying, Ray.
Alien candy.
I'll never
They have that.
never miss an
I had
opportunity
it.
to say
Don't
you
doubt
didn't
it.
need clarification on
You know,
that.
it's like I was barely paying attention, and then I heard you speak, and just,
Just heard Mars.
tip of the tongue right there.
How about Hershey's? Yes, we don't need to.
Not the amusement park.
Not the. But anyway, yeah, you would not blink. You'd be like, yeah, this is a Hershey's or a Mars product. It is that good. It is that close to the original. It is, again, a zero sacrifice candy
Some
bar.
might say
that-
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say enough about
You
this
just
brand.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many better for you candy brands all over the place at Expo West.
I was just glad that Harkin came out because I thought, Gigantic was the pinnacle at the time, and
Mhm.
now there's two, which means maybe more come out, and we start to see
Yeah.
better for you candy
Definitely
just
need more
take
of those.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
I mean, this is not to say that Gigantic isn't a phenomenal product too. I'm just happy that we're seeing more of these come to market. This is like my dream. I've talked about Snickers and Better For You Snickers all the time. It's like, it's actually happening.
I think it's just taking a time because talking to like Gigantic, the founder, Stu,
Stu.
was saying that just the formulation is so hard with candy bars, getting like the textures proper and all that stuff with real ingredients. So I think that's what's taken so long. But now that they've figured it out, I just hope that there's going to be more.
And Stu in particular he's meticulous about it. He continuously is reformulating to try to get it just perfect. And some of the things we probably don't even notice.
Yeah.
Some of them, but he's like, I want it to be less crumbly, or I want it to be, a little more mint here. And
Yeah. But to your point, Jack, it definitely feels like Better For You candy is having a moment. I can't even count the number of brands that I saw at the show that were doing Better For You candy and like in traditional forms. There was a Better For You Laffy Taffy. I'm blanking. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting the name of the brand. There were Better For You gummies all over the place.
Starbursts, Bad Mouth.
Starbursts, everything. The strips that we talked about,
Gummy
Joyride strips,
worms,
Yep.
gummy worms, all this stuff. It's like, and they're all clearly, at least as far as I can see it, intended to reach older consumers, or at least consumers that are not kids. Sure, certainly kids are going to be eating these products, but the price points are still at a place where you're not going to compete with, say, a Starburst, like a pack of Starbursts.
Another at the top of the pile, Yum Organic, their Skittles clone or their Skittles, Better For You Skittle. Oh my God, amazing.
Definitely.
Hey, Ray, how do you feel about Better For You frosting? And what if it was blue?
Let's wait until the end of
Come
our.
on, Ray.
No, I can't do it in the middle. I
Doesn't
already,
want his blue tongue the entire recording.
I already lost part of my voice at the startup CPG event last night.
We're not getting
so-
out of this episode without you trying this blue.
Yes.
Blue
Yeah.
frosting. All right.
Well, I mean, another thing that I saw in terms of sort of, I guess, I don't know, trends that maybe I'm trying to put together, or seeing things at the event that I can potentially call a trend. I mean, obviously, Better For You sodas is something that has been trending for a while. Olipop, Poppy, Culture Pop, those are the big three right now. But it feels like we're also seeing brands take a different tack and try to get into the space via, I guess, adjacent beverages. Hum Kombucha recently launched or teased at the show a line of Tepache drinks, glass bottle Tepache
Yeah, back
drinks.
in glass, too.
Yes, in glass. I believe there are 5 varieties. The one I tried was actually blue colored. It was a tropical punch.
wow.
Yes.
Ray, look
Yes.
at you.
How about that? Colored with spirulina. We also saw Nixie, the sparkling water brand, launch a zero sugar soda. It's sweetened with stevia. I haven't had a chance to try that yet, but we'll talk about it next week when I have. But I don't know. What else did you see, John?
What else did I see?
In terms of like that sort of Better For You soda or sort of adjacent kind of categories.
I don't know. Were there more?
We met the founder of Pop Off, who is a Better For You, trying to launch out of Vancouver. She's in the midst of formulation, has an early run. It's pretty tasty.
I saw a brand called Rockaway, which is a maker of Better For You sodas. They infuse the drinks with functional ingredients. The one I'm looking at is called Tidal Defense. It's a berry and hibiscus flavor. It has vitamin C. What is that? Astragalus. Does anyone know what Astragalus is?
It sounds like a bacteria or something.
It does sound
right?
like that, or perhaps a mushroom, and sea salt.
Sounds like a Greek dictator.
That's in a fair amount of products.
Astragalus?
I don't know what it is, but
Oh, interesting. Well, if anyone knows
At
what it is,
two
please,
Astragalus.
please send us a note to ask@tasteradio.com because we're clueless.
Please educate us.
we don't have
Yes.
Google.
No.
We don't have the
Not at
Google.
this time.
Yeah. Moss is a beverage that I really
Yummy.
like.
Very
It's a
tasty.
sea moss based beverage. Again, I think, sort of straddling that line between functional and refreshment. I mean, I think 5-6 years ago, this would have been the most funky, functional product you could see on the market, but outstanding branding, just beautiful to look at. It just feels like it has lifestyle just written all over it.
Yeah.
And the products just taste amazing. They have really good tasting
I
products.
think for something that's like so functional and people still don't really understand what it does because there's so many things, so many benefits that goes
Right.
with CMOS. Like it is just the branding that's so approachable and the flavor that drives it home. So it's just like a quality beverage that has function tied to it.
Yeah, I mean, and it does taste pretty awesome.
Yeah,
which
for
I think,
sure.
for a new ingredient, it's nice that
Mm-hmm.
they've actually focused on that instead of going like really heavy-handed with the functional ingredient, which has also like a pretty big educational hurdle with it. So
It's a new ingredient that if you saw it, it looks a lot more like steel wool than an ingredient you'd want to drink.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
I think we've talked about them in the past, but Jolly Moss, they were walking the show
Yeah.
floor and they were
Yeah.
backpacking and they had their sea moss pudding, which talking about, making something tasty. It's so good. It's really, really good. And
They're
for sea
super
moss,
sweet,
that's
too.
that's impressive.
Nice.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Saw the folks from Better Booch as well.
yeah.
They bought Live Soda and are introducing a brand refresh for that line, which looks amazing. It totally has this sort of like 1973 vibe. I think someone at the booth told me that it kind of felt like a retro basketball jersey, like from like the
Oh yeah,
1970s.
definitely.
Yeah, it has that kind of look. So they're launching that pretty soon. They also
They're refreshing the Better Brooch brand too. Did you
Are they?
notice
Did
that?
not know.
Yeah, they've
minor
kicked up
refresh.
a minor refresh. They've just kicked up the typeface a bit and changed it and tweaked it a little bit to kind of go with the fact that they're rebranding the Lively. And then also, Ray, what about their native, the big bottle stuff?
Oh my gosh, it's what they describe as an alt wine.
I really like
I
that.
loved it. It's really, really hard to do non-alc wine, in my opinion.
This is a sparkling though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the sparkling varieties they've had are usually pretty good. This one, they knocked it out of the park with.
Yeah,
with
I
these
thought
products.
so too. The rosé is something I would reach for. The rosé, clone, and then they have a brute as well, a white.
Super small batch. Trey said he hand filled the bottles himself. So I'm not sure that
So
that's
maybe
going to
not
be
in
for
stores.
sale.
Oh,
yet.
Ashley
yeah.
Lockerbie drew the logo by hand in one
Right.
try. So I mean, it's really good. It looks super premium.
Yeah, definitely pretty cool.
Yeah. Can we talk about Pockets chocolates for a second?
Yes, please.
All right. I stumbled upon the
You
booth.
had to ask.
I didn't stumble upon the booth, but I came upon the booth with Mike and John just like drooling their tongues on the floor. And I'm like, what are you guys eating? And they were eating this new churro variety of
Oh my God.
covered almonds, which is definitely one of the best things I've eaten at the show.
Tastes
better-
like a churro.
You better
It
keep
is
those away from me.
unbelievably good. It's made with oat milk. They also have a strawberry variety
Yeah.
that they launched at the show.
And then, of course, we were eating the black sesame as well because that's their like classic. That one's amazing. They have matcha.
They also teased, or they showed us a collaboration they did with Blue Bottle,
Mhm.
which was
Right.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
The New Orleans chicory.
excellent.
Oh wait, no, it isn't.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
the Nola coffee.
Yeah,
It's
it is
their
the Nola coffee. That's
signature-
right, that's
the
right.
Blue Bottle signature coffee.
Quite good.
Not too far from the Pockets Chocolates booth, I came upon a brand that I'd never heard of called Del Origin. They're a Colombian-based brand, or they're Colombia-based brand. The owner is just full of energy. She's a firecracker. She talked about the entire brand and did it in 15 seconds, and it was just pretty amazing.
Wow.
And then I tried some of their arepa bites,
Mm-hmm.
which are corn-based bites, and they're also filled with cheese and things like that. Well, I guess cheese and beans and so on. Just fantastic stuff. And as you guys all know, I'm not a big cheese person, but these tasted amazing. They're not. I guess they're along the same lines as like a Brazilian cheese bite, but a little bit denser, a little bit sweeter. They also had some churros.
Yeah,
that you
they
liked. Yeah.
gluten-free churros, which were really good. They also had like a guava and cheese waffle.
Yep.
They were all really, really tasty.
Guess
really.
it will waffle
Yeah, Monica stopped by there. She saw 'em.
for sure.
Yeah.
Did you try the new Hayo? Did you see that the
didn't.
new beverage showdown champions Hayo, who are notoriously not stingy? What's the word I'm looking for?
Jeez.
No, it's not the word. It's like
They're the cheapest people we know.
no, that's not what I mean. They're notorious for not wanting to put out new SKUs. So many brands are consistently trying to find the next
very
flavor.
focused.
Yeah, they're super focused, but they finally found one that they're happy with, and it's strawberry guava. Yeah, so good.
Nice. I really enjoyed going by the Core Shots booth, KOR.
Yes.
KOR. I was expecting to see just new flavors, new varieties of their shots, which are amazing, and really surprised and excited to see that they launched a new line of sports hydration beverages. These come in 16-ounce bottles, 16-ounce plastic bottles. They have 4 varieties. They have a superfood quench, which is blue, also blue from Spirulina, which I enjoyed, a tropical punch variety, a citrus refresh, and an orange ginger. All of them were fantastic. I talked to the folks at the booth there. I didn't see Jordan, who's the founder. He was there, but
We did, yeah.
yeah,
He was hiding from you.
he was hiding from me because he knows I like to
Ran
clear,
away.
clear him out of products, house and home over there.
I think he likes us too. He's like, you guys want a shot?
I think he just wants to get rid of us. Actually, it's just like, please, just take this and leave me alone. No, he's not like this. He's a
He's
very,
so
very nice
chill.
guy. But they were talking about the opportunity in sports drinks and all of the traction that you're seeing for brands like Prime and Body Armor, and obviously the legacy brands as well. But they're not for the natural consumer. I'll just leave it at that. And it seemed like they saw a hole, and they sought to fill it. I believe, again, this is something that I have to give a disclaimer here. I believe they said they're going to Sprouts nationally soon. So
Speaking of holes to fill, last year seemed to be, dumplings came onto the scene pretty
So many
strongly.
dumplings.
And
So many
now
dumplings.
So many
bao
dumplings.
is out.
Yeah.
So much bao's out there. So it's dumplings and bao. One of the ones that we tried was Omni, and we also tried one called Sobo, which I think, in spite of them being Tottenham fans, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, really tasty. They had like 4 SKUs and all of them were plant-based, and they had like plant-based meats. And it was funny, on the packaging, they flipped the word upside down so you knew that like it wasn't actually pork. But in
that's
the
how you know something isn't
Yeah.
pork. You just got to turn the
Upside
word
down
upside
pork,
down.
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never
That's it.
seen that before.
Yeah,
so
that
it
was an interesting packaging approach. Also
Yeah.
very tasty.
Very
so.
Tottenham. What?
Very Tottenham.
We had a funny interaction there because they have I was asking them about their different varieties, and one of them was potato curry, and the founder was saying that was the hardest sell, and I was like, this would kill in the UK, and there was someone next to me who's like, can confirm. It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, there was a lot of great Asian flavors. I also saw a million different kimbobs, which for people that
Yes.
don't know, it's kind of like a sushi roll with veggies and other things inside. And Ocean's Halo came out with one, and there was a couple other brands that came out with kimbobs. We ran into Sozu, which is like a matcha beverage at Startup CPG, and they had a durian.
Did you try it?
Yeah, I tried the durian.
Was it stinky?
It was stinky.
Yeah, it wasn't that
but
bad.
it could
It
have been
wasn't that bad.
stinkier. I've
Okay,
had
so-
stinkier
It wasn't that bad from a
durians.
stinky
So
perspective.
I saw John and Jack, and they're like, "Ray, you got to try this." And by the way, it's going to be really, really stinky. And I was like, "What are you guys talking about?"
We had to play it up.
I gotta
so-
see them. If I see
Yeah.
them again, I want to try this.
It was a delicious tasting product. I feel like the aroma wasn't so off-putting that you were not going to enjoy drinking it.
Yeah, I mean, also if you're drinking a fermented product too, it's like kind of the same experience,
Sure.
like a hard spache or something like that.
Yeah. One more. These are the folks I met at the Alley Rally. The founders of Mizo, M-I-Z-O,
What's
a
that?
maker of hard lemonade packaged in a
crush-
pouch.
in a-
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, have you ever thought of having like an
looks like a
alcoholic
Capri
Capri
Sun.
Sun?
Yeah,
Yes.
like an adult
Al
boozy.
Capri Sun.
I was showing this to people yesterday, and they were like, "That's such a good idea. Why didn't I think of that?" Well, clearly the folks from Mizo did.
Yeah, they did.
And they are apparently doing quite well. They talked about the amount of retail and distribution that they're getting with this product. The one I'm holding in my hand is their Mango Passion Fruit Variety. It's a little bit bigger than a Capri Sun. This is 10 ounces.
I know it says big and in yellow, contains alcohol, but do you think the kids who might grab that can read that?
No, I don't think that.
Oh my
this,
There's-
yeah.
There are a couple products that have alcohol in pouches. This is not the only one. I mean, it's certainly like the immediate thing that everyone says when they see them. So
Yeah, I haven't seen many though. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just blanking on other ones on the market.
I don't know how many are still on the market, but
Ah,
there
there
are
you go.
definitely a bunch that have launched. So
Well, the person that I didn't see, who apparently was trying to find me, was Michelle Rizavi from Alavi. Alavi, a maker
She
of
really wanted to find you.
cashew butters. They are fantastic people. Her and co-founder Nikki Elliott, who are the two co-founders of Alavi. So they have a new. Is this new?
It's
the blue
newish.
vanilla frosting.
Yeah, they
Okay.
kind of leaned into the frostings in bigger formats, and they're crushing it in Costco right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, here we're gonna try it, and then and I do want to note before I try this that
It's blue.
I'm excited, but in case like I can't speak because it's so delicious or there's just too much frosting in my mouth, we're going to continue our coverage of Expo West. Obviously, we have a lot more to talk about. We have a lot more to see today, so please stay tuned. And if we maybe didn't talk about your brand or product, just stay tuned. I'm sure we have more in the pipeline.
Also,
that'll be coming up in future episodes.
on BevNet and Nosh,
Yes.
become an insider to get the full coverage.
There you go.
Good plug.
Okay, I think it's time.
Okay.
For the blueness.
It's time.
Get ready for your mouth to turn blue.
Oh,
okay?
geez.
Here you
And we
go.
got Amanda Smolinski taking
Here's-
a video
here's
of
a
me here.
spoon.
Okay.
Um,
Put my microphone
Here we go.
down.
oh, geez. Look at this.
Wow, it is.
It's
It
super
looks like
blue,
paint.
Yeah, he's eating paint chips.
Doesn't taste like paint.
Oh,
I
it
can,
does
I
look
can
like
say.
frosting.
Yeah, right. Here we go. This is the year Ray likes blue things.
Stick out your tongue, Ray.
No.
I saw a hint of it. I saw the blue tongue.
It's very delicious. It's very thick. It's actually something I would love to put on like a muffin, like a morning muffin or
sure.
a pancake or something like
Yeah.
that. It tastes
Even
amazing.
like a waffle.
It is incredibly blue. It is it is
Yeah.
impossibly blue. It is bluer than the pool chairs out there, which is kind of amazing. But it is delicious. Well
It's
done.
blue
Alok.
goo.
Yeah.
The one thing I just felt like was missing from this show, and I'm so, I don't know. I just think that there should just be more of an emphasis on cognitive health. I just didn't see enough brain health functionality on the floor. And if only people knew of an amazing, groundbreaking ingredient called cognizin, which is a clinically tested nootropic ingredient that delivers a patented form of citicoline to supply your brain and those of your consumers with the energy it needs to stay sharp, they would be a much happier brand, founder, and attendee of Expo West. You can learn more about Cognizin by going to their website, cognizin.com, COGNIZIN.com.
Thank you for sponsoring Taste Radio.
Yes, and thank you so much for sponsoring Taste Radio Cognizin.
Did you write the URL down? Because you need some.
I did.
Just don't fall into the pool.